All right, welcome. My name is Melissa. If we haven't met, welcome to All Levels Yoga. For 45 minutes, we'll practice together. So just a reminder to listen to your body through the practice. If any of the stretches don't work for you, you can always skip them, come out and modify. And also feel free to grab any props that you'd like. We won't need anything specific tonight, but I always love using a block and a blanket. I love having that close by. So we're just going to jump right in. Let's take a moment to close the eyes and to do a little centering. We'll drop into our breath and our body for a moment. Begin to observe your connection to the ground. So just noticing where your body's meeting the ground, edges of legs, edges of feet. And then grounding through your sitting bones, lengthen your spine. Maybe imagine that you're sitting against a wall. You feel that your shoulders are floating back a bit. Shoulders are right over your hips. And then connecting to the rise and the fall of your breath. Lengthening your breath as you inhale and lengthening your breath as you exhale. And then just trying to feel your breath gently flowing in and flowing out through your nose. And if you'd like, you can set an intention for your practice. So intention really could be anything that you would like. Intentions are a nice way to connect us to the practice and to help make the practice our own. Lowering your chin into the chest. Let's lengthen the back of the neck. Allow for your head to roll to the right. We'll come into a gentle neck stretch here. We're going to come back to neutral, releasing your head up towards the other side. And then realign. Let's come back to neutral and then circling the head for a moment. And so maybe finding large circles, maybe finding smaller circles. And then begin to circle in the other direction. We'll just reverse that movement. And taking those circles into the torso, we'll begin to gently shift the weight around from side to side. And this is great movement for getting into your low back, into the mid, into the upper back. And then also great for getting into the sides of the body a little bit, finding that length and finding that space. Circle in the other direction. Let's reverse that movement. And as you circle here, feel your body reacting to the movement. As you shift your weight to the right, maybe feel your left leg and your left sitting bone lift from the mat a little bit. Coming into neutral, let's come forward. We're going to find our way into table. And as you come into table, you may want to grab a blanket to pad your knees. So we'll bring our knees and our hips in line and our wrists and our shoulders in line. Feel the fingers shin wide, press through your index finger and through your thumb. Coming into a slow thread the needle. Let's reach that right hand up to the sky. Take a nice full breath in and reach the arm underneath your body. We're going to take that hand back on a full breath in. Reach up, stretch up, and release. And 3 more times at your own pace. And coming in to thread the needles, we're going to thread that arm right underneath our body. And pause here for a moment. You may want to find one spot to focus on. Find a drishti, one spot to focus your concentration and to focus your awareness. Maybe lifting your leg up. So one option is to take your left leg and straighten it. Toes can be on the mat. You may want to lift your leg up to the sky. And then you can also take your hand to the sky as well. And then there's variation 2 where you take your hand to meet your foot. And breathing here. Try not to hold the breath. Try to keep your breath moving in and moving out. We're going to gently release that one so hand can lower down. And sweeping movement here. So reach that right hand right on up to your sky, up to the sky, and then circle. And then circle in the other direction. Come back into table. We'll do a little reset here. Lower your stomach, lift through your heart. Feel your tailbone lower and feel the crown of your head lower. And then flow through cat and dog stretch for a moment. Lengthen your spine as you inhale. Lengthen your spine as you exhale. As you inhale, let your shoulders relax from your ears, creating that space between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down your back. And then on the exhale, round your back. So imagine creating space between the shoulder blades. Neutral spine, left hand extends up. Like take that nice full breath in. Arm releases under. And then let's take that hand back on a full breath in. Reach and stretch up. And release. 3 more times at your own pace. Let's pause. We're going to come back to thread the needle. And just breathing here into that stretch for the side of your neck and for your shoulder. And you can decide where you'd like to take this one. You can stay right here. That right leg may want to straighten. You may want to lift it up. You could also take your hand up. And then there's variation where you take your hand to meet your foot. And gently release. Hand lowers down, knee lowers down, and then reach and stretch that left hand up to the sky. Find your circle. Flow in the other direction. And reset. Let's come back into our tabletop. We're going to press into a down dog when you're ready. So toes will curl under and take your sitting bones right on up to the sky. So as you come into down dog, you may want to shake it out a little bit. So it may feel nice to bend one knee, to bend the other knee, and then relax your head yes, and relax your head no. As you find stillness here, let's come on forward. We're going to make our way into plank. We'll take a high push-up pose, and we're going to lower all the way down for Sphinx to gently warm our spine up. So come all the way down to the mat. Hands are going to glide out in front. Elbows in line with your shoulders. Maybe you reach for opposite arms here, and then let's breathe into our low back bend. Option to stay here, you may want to press your hands down. Elbows lift up, elbows wrap in towards one another a little bit. Coming into low cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Arms can straighten if you would like, bringing you into seal. Feel yourself reach and stretch to the crown of your head. Let's come on down. We're going to lower down to the mat. Take a full breath here and press yourself back to that downward facing dog. Right leg's gonna reach and stretch up to the sky. Find a three-legged dog and step that through. Let's come on up for Crescent Warrior. And as you take Crescent, feel that your left leg is super active. We want to press really firmly through the heel and the back of your knee. Feel your leg active, engaged, and energized. Working with a variation of a flying warrior, so arms can come alongside your body, palms face forward, and then draw your torso forward a little bit. Try to create a line that flows from your left heel to the crown of your head. Maybe gaze right down to the ground. Lengthen the back of your neck, reach and stretch to the crown of your head. We're going to come on forward, transitioning to Warrior 3. So we'll just do a little spring forward. Lots of options with arms and hands. Maybe hands at prayer at heart. Maybe arms alongside your body, palms face down. And maybe the hands reach and stretch out in front of you. Let's come back into Warrior 1. Left foot back. Left heel lowers, breathing here. Let's encourage hips and shoulders to square forward. So we're going to take our left hip forward, left shoulder forward, right shoulder back, and then right hip comes back a little bit. Hands behind your body, fingers interlock, palms touch. Let's take a full breath here to lengthen. Folding forward, breathe out. And then try to relax the fronts of the shoulders and just noticing if that helps you move a little deeper into the shoulder stretch. Engage your core. Let's come back on through. Align in Warrior 1. Hands are going to come down. Let's try a runner's lunge. And then begin to bend and straighten your front leg. So as you flow with the breath here, if the stretch is feeling a little too intense, maybe hands come onto blocks for support. And you can always lower your left knee down onto the ground for support as well. Straighten that right leg. Let's fold forward for a moment, bringing us into a runner stretch. Your spine relaxes. Let go of tension through the back of your head and the back of your neck. Coming forward, let's come to a runner's lunge. We're going to step ourselves back, finding plank. Working with a variation of low cobra, let's lower all the way down to the mat. Hands are going to be right underneath your shoulders. Tips of the fingers in line with the tops of your shoulders, pinkies in line with the deltoids. Glue the tops of your feet down onto the mat and lifting up to the navel. So you don't have to lift really high in this one. It's not necessarily higher is better. And try to hug your arms into the sides of your body. Let your elbows run straight back and almost create a little sensation that you could lift your hands off of the mat. We're going to come down to the mat. Take a full breath here. Press it back. Downward facing dog. Last leg to the sky. Three-limbed dog. And come on through. Let's take it forward. Runner's lunge. Engage to come to crescent. Right leg is super active here. Press firmly through the heel, back of your knee. Feel that your leg is active and energized. Come on forward. We'll try that flying warrior. Feel that the core is working here. So you want to create that sensation of tucking your tailbone. Feel your navel move back and up to the spine slightly. Come on through. Let's try our Warrior 3 pose. Imagine that you could create a capital T shape with your body. So you want to create a long line from our left heel to left hip, and then long line from right heel to crown of the head. Let's float it back. Warrior 1. Feel the breath flowing in and flowing out through your nose. Deep full in breath, deep full out breath. Hands behind your body. Let's come to our yoga mudra. Fingers interlock, palms touch, lengthening and folding. Maybe gazing to the wall behind you. You may want to take your gaze to the ceiling up behind your body. So a lot of times as we relax the gaze, it can just help us move deeper into the shoulder stretch. Engage your core to come on up. Realign to warrior one. Hands lower down. Float yourself to lunge and begin to bend and straighten your front leg. And as you take this great flow for the legs and the hips, you may notice that it feels a lot easier on the side compared to that first side that we worked on. It could also feel very different and maybe more challenging. So just noticing the two sides of our body. It's so important to create that mind-body connection. That's why yoga is so wonderful, because it really helps us to strengthen that connection. Let's begin to straighten that front leg. We're going to take it into a runner stretch. Nice folding forward here. If you wanted to change the stretch up, you can draw more weight into your left foot. You might get a little bit more of an IT band stretch. You can also draw your left hip forward, pull your right hip back, and come back into our lunge. Let's make our way into plank. We're going to try high push-up again. Lower down, chaturanga. Let's take an up dog here. So we're going to use our breath. We're going to breathe into our back bend. And pressing back, let's take it to down dog when you're ready. Come on forward. Let's land back into a forward fold. Breathe here and take a half lift. Fold it forward and then rise on up. Full breath in and hands at the heart space to breathe out. Let's try an earth or a moon salutation. So a lot of times we do sun salutations to warm up, but a moon salutation is a nice kind of flowy movement through the yoga mat. So we'll give that one a go tonight. So we're going to start by taking the hands up, breathe. And then your right hand's going to reach for your left wrist. Let's lengthen here and release your hands to the right. And then almost create a little sensation that that right hand could pull your left hand to the right side of the room. Come back to neutral, we'll realign, change up the grip, release to the left. Roll that left shoulder under, right shoulder open, and feel that the heart is shining to the sky. We're going to come back to neutral. Hands can release to prayer heart. And left foot's going to take a big step out for goddess. Toes will turn out, heels will shift in, and then find that nice deep bend into your knees. Let your tailbone tuck here. So we just don't want to be sticking the butt out or arching our back. We're going to rise up onto our tippy toes. Heels are going to lower. Let's bend a little deeper. Let's come on up and release. And we're going to take that one 5 more times. And to reset, we're going to come back to goddess and trying a warrior 2 to the back of the room. So that left foot's going to turn out, right toes will turn in, and we're going to sweep those arms out into a T position. Try to relax your shoulders from your ears. We want to create that space between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down your back. Reverse warrior 2. We're going to take that left hand up and back. Try to keep a deep bend in your front knee. Body's natural tendency is to straighten the front leg a little bit. Come on through warrior 2. Lateral angle, we're going to lower the hand down or arm down. And if you wanted to work with that extended lateral angle, you can always bring your hand down to the ground for a little bit more support. Trying not to collapse here into the bottom shoulder. Try to create a little lifting here and a little bit of lengthening here. Core engages. We're going to come back on through. Warrior 2. Straighten your front leg and front hand up and back. Reverse triangle stretch. Coming back on through. Let's take it into Warrior 2. Windmill the hands to the earth. Transition to a runner's lunge. Walk your hands off to the right. We're going to land in a wide-legged forward fold. And shake it out in your fold. So it may feel nice to bend one knee, to bend the other knee. Relax your head yes, and relax your head no. As you find stillness here, hands are going to walk out in front, coming into down dog with the legs wide. Send your weight back into your heels. So hands are light and almost a feeling that those hands could lift from the mat. We're going to walk our hands into our body. Walk your hands right underneath you. Doing a little reset back into a fold and just guiding you a little deeper here. And reset. Let's come back to Goddess. So Goddess is kind of our anchor point in the moon salutation. So back to Goddess pose. Let's begin to take our left elbow to the left knee. Reset. Right elbow to the right knee. Reset. Side to side for a moment. So if you wanted that deeper stretch, maybe bend deeper into your knees, really let your hips sink down. Feel your breath flow in and flow out. And reset. We're going to come back into Goddess and we'll try Warrior 2 to the front of the room. So you're going to turn your right toes out, left toes in. Arms are going to sweep out into our T position. And the feet won't actually move, but almost create a little sensation that you could pull your feet in towards one another. We're going to try reverse. Float that front hand up and back. Back hand can glide down your back leg. Maybe arm wraps around your low back. Reach for the other hip crease. Come on through, back into Warrior 2. Transition to lateral angle. And then maybe extended lateral angle. And then just trying to create almost like a little twist sensation here. We want to roll that top shoulder back, bottom shoulder under, this top hip rolls back, and the bottom hip rolls under. Core engages. Let's take it back on through. Warrior 2, straighten your front leg, front hand up and back. And release. Back into Warrior 2 pose. Windmill the hands to the earth. We'll take it to a runner's lunge. Walk your hands to the left. We're going to land in that wide-legged fold. And then in our fold, let's walk our hands off to the right. Try to grab onto that right foot and just give yourself a really nice side stretch here. Come back to neutral, hands off to your left. So if you can't grab onto your foot, that's okay. You can just kind of have your hand moving in that direction. Come back into center and let's try a twist. So you may want to grab your block. We're going to take our left hand right in front of our face and then right hand's going to reach and stretch to the sky. Hand can reach right on up. You can also take your half bind if you would like. And imagine that you could balance a block on your low back. So you may just have to play with the weight in your feet. Let's lower that right hand down. Left hand lift when you're ready. With your in-breath, feel your spine lengthen. On your out-breath, let your twist deepen. Let's take it back to neutral, back into wide-legged fold, and then we're going to transition into Goddess again. So as we have been here before, you may want to just move deeper. Deeper bend in your knees, let those hips sink down. And we're going to try a little side stretch here. Right arm wraps around your low back. Left arm wraps around your head. Release your torso to the right. Then your left shoulder back, right shoulder under. Feel that your heart is shining to the sky. Back into neutral. We'll just change up those arms. Lengthen and release. Feel the tailbone tuck. And back into goddess. Arms can sweep right on up. Low in those knees, low in the hips. Hands can come to bread heart. We're going to straighten out our legs and then take your left foot to meet your right foot. We're going to come back to stand. Hands reach up, breathe here. Fingers interlock and palms are going to press to the sky this time. Lengthen and hands to the left, bringing us back into our half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Come back to neutral, realign, lengthen, and release. Come back to center. Hands can come to bread, heart space as you exhale. So that was one moon salutation. I love that one. Let's release our shoulders a bit. Fingers will interlock, palms will touch. Take a full breath here, lengthen, and fold it down when you're ready. Try to relax the fronts of your shoulders and just notice if that helps you move a little deeper into your stretch. Hands can relax onto your low back. Hands can float down to the ground. Let's take a half lift here. Fold forward. Come on up. Full breath in. And then hands at your heart as you breathe out. Let's try a Yogi Toehold. This one isn't the easiest, so feel free to grab onto a wall or if you have something close by. We're going to take our index finger and our middle finger and then also our thumb, and we're going to reach for the big toe on the right foot. So if this one is really tricky for you and you can't quite do it, work with tree. That will really help to strengthen the balance and create some flexibility. Option to stay here. You might want to try to kick that foot out in front of you. We're going to breathe for a moment. Try to find your drishti, find that one spot to focus your concentration and awareness, and then your right foot can open off to the right. Your left hand can reach off to the left. Maybe gaze off your left fingertips. Try to relax your shoulders from your ears. And we're going to come back to neutral. We'll do a little reset. Become a little wider than hips and arms sweep side to side, coming into empty coat sleeves. As you come to stillness here, let's take our feet right in line with our hips. We're going to take our index and our thumb and our middle finger. We're going to reach for that big toe on the left side. Stay right here. Option to kick that foot out, maybe hanging out in tree if you'd like to. Feel grounded through all the parts of your right foot. So we want to press firmly through the inside and the outside. Left foot to the left. Right hand to the right. Maybe do a little scan here. Notice where you're holding tension. With each exhale, let that tension go. Let's release that one. Feet a little wider than hips. We're going to take arms side to side. And release. Let's take feet in line with your hips. Take a full breath in. Reach and stretch your hands up. Hinge at your hips. Pull down. Take a half lift. Plant your hands. Make your way into plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. So let's breathe here into our back bend. Press back to down dog. Breathe out. Knees begin to lower. And we're going to work with camel. We'll come into Ustrasana. So camel can be a deeper back bend. So you can always take this one step by step. You don't have to make it super intense if you don't want to. So knees are going to be in line with your hips. Hands can be on your low back. Tailbone tucks, and then hips are going to come forward. You can stay here, so you can gaze down your front body. You can relax your head back. And then if you would like more of a stretch, you can curl your toes under. Maybe you reach back for one foot, reach back for the other foot, send your hips forward, and breathe here. And if you wanted even more of a stretch, you can keep the tops of your feet on the mat. And that's going to give you even more of a back bend. Make sure that you're breathing. Really easy to hold your breath in a pose like this because it is that deep, intense back bend. Let's come on up. We're just going to take a moment to pause. Maybe bring your hands onto your low back, tuck your tailbone, and breathe for a moment. Coming into seated, let's sweep those feet to the top of the mat. And we're going to work with a really wonderful hip opener. So I'm sure we've been sitting more than we would like today, and the hips can get really tight. So this one is going to be a great hip opener and awesome for your low back. So for starting off here, let's start with our left leg on the bottom and have your legs straight. So we want our lower leg to be straight with the edge of our yoga mat. And then we're just going to stack that right leg right on top of the left. So you're going to want your heel to be in line with your knee, and then your knee to be in line with your heel. So sometimes people are in this and they're like, oh, it's so easy. I don't really feel the stretch because we don't have the right alignment. So alignment is super important. So sometimes we call this one fire log pose too. It looks a little bit like stacked logs. And if this is just too much for you, because this can be that deep stretch, if your knee's really high up, that's okay. That's very normal. But if you are just feeling like this is not enjoyable and it's way too hard, just straighten your left leg out in front of you. So you can have one leg straight and then one leg is going to be bent. We're going to be here for a minute. Stay right here. Option to fold forward if you'd like. Allow for your eyes to close. Try to relax your eyebrows, relax your jaw. Try to let go of tension through the back of your head, the back of your neck. Relax the shoulders, the arms, the hands. And then relaxing the upper, mid, and low back. And then try to relax your legs and your feet as best as you can. We're going to come on up to neutral. Legs can extend out in front of you. Give them out a little shake. Try to let go of any tension here. And then let's try that on the other side. We'll take our right leg on the bottom to start. Again, make sure that your leg is straight. So have your heel in line with your knee. And then let's take that heel right on top of the knee. And you may want to sit on the blanket. So I don't always sit right on it and be kind of propped up. I try to just sit right at the edge of it. So that helps to roll my pelvis forward a little bit. Maybe you're going to stay seated up with the spine straight, and you may want to come forward if you'd like. I'm trying to clear the mind of thoughts. We always have thoughts moving through the mind, maybe thoughts for the past, thoughts for the future. Try to release the thoughts, bring the awareness to the breath, bring the awareness to the present moment. Let's release that one. Legs extend out in front, shake them out a little bit. Take the legs out wide. So we're just going to take legs out super wide as we can get them. And then you can kind of heel them out a bit too, inching them out a little bit one by one, just to try to get as best of a stretch as you can. You may want to sit on the edge of that blanket once again. And let's take a side stretch. So the right arm into the right leg, left arm reaches up and over. And then rolling that left shoulder back, right shoulder under, so that the heart is shining to the sky. Come on up, realign. Left hand down, right hand lift. And then resetting. We'll come back to neutral. Lengthen and fold forward here. And sometimes shifting a little side to side can be nice. So if you want to gently rock around, that can kind of ease you into the stretch. This one isn't always the easiest. So a little movement can really help you in the posture. And then we all experience each pose really differently. So just notice in your own body where you're feeling the stretch. Noticing what the stretch feels like, breathing into that. And then let's begin to release. We're going to come on up, flowing through the spine. Legs can come together, come down onto your back from here. And then as you come down onto your back, reach for your feet. We're going to take a happy baby stretch. Flex your feet, reach through the heels, maybe rock side to side, maybe finding stillness here. Legs begin to extend right on up to the sky. Core engages. I like to imagine that if I could draw a line from my navel down to the mat, that there's a grape there. And I want to squish the grape, and that's going to help to engage some upper abs and some lower abs. Gently support the back of your head. And we're going to just work with some foot taps. So take your right hand for your left foot. We're going to reset to neutral. Left hand for right. Reset. And then side to side here. So feel that your core is working. Hold on to that core connection. Feel the tailbone tuck. Feel the navel move back and up to the spine a little bit. Activate your feet. You could point your toes, flex your feet, maybe press out through the two ball mounts towards the front of your foot and then spread out through your toes just to help activate the feet a little bit more. Make sure that you are not cranking your head. We just want to offer that nice gentle support to our head. Also, make sure that you're breathing. Really easy to hold the breath on this one. Let's try to keep that nice full in breath and nice full out breath. And release. We're going to come back to our backs. Hug your knees to your chest. Gently rock to the right and gently rock to the left. And taking that rocking into circles. So maybe find large circles, maybe find smaller circles. Begin to circle in the other direction. So just reverse that movement. And then releasing from here, coming into Shavasana. We'll come into our resting pose of our practice. So if you would like to take any final stretch or final movement, you can do that. And you can also grab some props that can support you as well. Letting the eyes close. Feel your body just melting into the posture. allowing for your breath to deepen. Maybe wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And coming onto your side, let's try a fetal position for a moment. Maybe gently supporting your head with your lower arm, and then just feeling your body taking the shape of the posture. And then coming on up, let's make our way into a seated position. You can sit in any way that feels comfortable for your body. Hands can come into prayer heart, into Anjali Mudra, into prayer position. And then I'll just end with a little quote that I came across. We all come to yoga for vastly different reasons. To connect to our body, our breath, each other, a greater purpose, our community. We come to connect. Yoga in Sanskrit translates to union, to join. It pieces together that which was never actually separate. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's so great to be here with everybody. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste. You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome.